Welcome to morning yoga this morning. Super excited to have you. We're going to start seated on our mat. We're going to stack rib cage over pelvis, sitting up nice and tall. Let's take the shoulders up, down, and back. 3 times up, down, and back. Up, down, and back. Then we'll take them back, up, and forward. Back, up, and forward. One more time, back, up, and forward. We'll sync breath with movement on this next one. Inhale, hands come up overhead. Exhale, right hand comes to the mat. Left hand comes up overhead. Let's breathe into the rib cage here on the left. In through the nose and out through the nose. In through the nose and out through the nose. Next inhale brings the hands up overhead. Exhale, coming over to the left. Right arm is over top of your head. Let's inhale to these right ribs. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Next inhale brings you up. Exhale as we rotate around to the right. First twist of our practice. Inhale brings your hands up overhead. Exhale brings you to the left, twisting around. Let's inhale up again. We'll do that over to the right again. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. And then next inhale brings those hands up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll take our hands onto our knees. We'll do a little seated cat-cow this morning. So we'll arch into that back, rocking back on the pelvis. And then as we inhale, taking the chest forward, rocking forward onto those sit bones of the pelvis. Exhale, rocking back. Inhale, rocking forward. Exhale, rocking back. Inhale, rocking forward. Let's stay forward, pushing the chest forward. A little back extension this morning. Back extension always so good. We spend so much time hunched over and flexed. Extension also good. And then come to a neutral spine. Let's lie all the way down. And as we lie down, just making sure we have handy 2 yoga blocks and maybe a strap if you might want that. Lying all the way down. Today we're going to do a flowing bridge. So you'll take your hips, you'll push them up into the air, watching that our knees don't splay open when we do this. Knees should be about hip width apart this whole time. Hips are now in the air in a bridge, and we'll come down slow. We'll go upper back, middle back, low back. Release your hips onto the mat. Rock your pelvis forward. Rock your pelvis back and then lift your hips up. All the way at the top, squeeze your booty cheeks together. We'll come down slow, upper back, middle back, low back. Release. Rock your hips forward. Rock your hips back. And then take that back up into a bridge. This time we'll stay up here. And we're going to squeeze the booty cheeks together 10 times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down slow. Upper back, middle back, low back. Release. Rock your pelvis forward. Rock your pelvis back. Let's do that 3 more times. Rock your pelvis forward. So you're having a little mouse house underneath your back, a little cave. Rock your pelvis back. So we're pushing the hips towards the face. 2 more times. Forward, back, forward, and then back. Bringing those hips now to a neutral position. So we're not doing any sort of um, abdominal contractions at this time. However, I do want to add in an abdominal contraction. Sometimes if our pelvic floor, if we've had pregnancies, especially a C-section, you might get a little rib flare. Now, I've known people to have rib flare who have had natural births or have not even had children. So you're going to take your hands and you're going to put them on your rib cage. So my fingers are kind of right where the rib cage ends, and my palm is on the side of the rib cage. We're going to do a new breathing exercise on this one. As you breathe in, you won't do anything, but as you breathe out, you'll lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and you'll push your hands together as you expel the air. Inhale, release down to the mat. Exhale, push on the ribs, expel the air. Inhale back down to the mat. We'll do one more of those. We'll hold at the top. Exhale as we come up, pushing those ribs together, and then release. So again, that's good if you have a little bit of rib flare, excuse me, rib flare, and also it helps us get those ribs moving. We want to make sure that the ribs are always moving to help the diaphragm. Knees come into the chest, hands behind the knees, opening the legs up wide. Let's do a little bit of hip circles here. So with the hands behind the knees, we'll make big circles on the ceiling. The legs are going to go in, um, so they'll go down, out, away from each other, up, and then together. So down, out, away from each other, up, and together. So they're moving kind of separately. Let's reverse that. So knees into the chest, legs wide, they come down and then together. Up to the chest, wide, down, together, up to the chest, wide, down, and together. We'll take the feet down to the mat, crossing that right foot over left. Let's bring the knee into the chest. If you need a strap for that so that you can get your head, neck, and shoulders onto the mat, that is fine. And you'll just pull that in gently. And let's do a circle again, making a circle on the ceiling with your knee. Should feel some sensations in the back of your right hip. It's early. My anatomy, even right and left, is failing today. Let's take this in the other direction. So circling the opposite way. And then taking the foot down to the mat, keeping the legs in a figure four. Let's drop the foot over to the left. Laying on my mic here. Over to the left, looking right. So a twist. And bringing that back up, let's take both knees into the chest, give the legs a little hug. Feet come down to the mat. We're going to cross left over right. Bringing this knee into the chest. Whew. Using a strap if you'd like. Making a circle on the ceiling with your right knee in one direction and then in the other. Taking this left foot and keeping your figure four, we're going to drop your figure four to the right, looking to the left. Nice. Nice twist this morning. Should feel good. Twists are good for your insides. And we'll take this back up to the top. Both feet come to the mat, and then we'll windshield wiper those legs to each side, letting the hips drop and pick up from the mat. Let's roll over onto our side, coming back into a seated position. We're going to do a little mermaid sitting today. So if you were in easy seated, taking your right foot back behind you. And our goal here is to try to stack the rib cage over the pelvis, but it's okay if you're leaning to the side just a bit. Rib cage over pelvis if you can. The back leg is your little chicken leg in the back. Let's turn to the right towards the chicken leg, just rotating the body. And let's rotate the other way to the left, over the front knee. And we'll take the chest down to the front knee, collapsing over that left leg. And then walking the hands to the front so we are over the left shin. And then walking the hands back up. You'll put your right hand either on your ankle or on the floor. And you'll take your left hand up and over. We're really stretching out that left side. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose there. And we'll counterbalance that by putting the left hand down. Right hand comes up and over. Coming back up. We're going to take this right foot while we're sitting up nice and tall as we can, and we'll pull it up. I don't know if you can see my foot, so that you're internally rotating the hip. Do that about 3 times. And then release. Hands come behind. We'll windshield wiper those legs again. Knees all the way down to the mat. This time, right foot's going to come in front. Left foot is that chicken leg in the back, sitting up as tall as we can. It's okay if we're leaned over to the right just a bit. This might come in time, and my left is definitely tighter than my right. So that makes it a little harder to do on this side. Ooh, my hip says, no thank you. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath here. And as we exhale, let's twist to the left. Inhale, twist right. Exhale to this right side. Then we'll take our chest over the right knee, stretching out over that right knee, arms long, not legs, arms long. And then walking those hands over so that we are over that shin. And then sitting up nice and tall. Left hand comes either to the left ankle or to the floor. Right hand up and over the top, stretching out that right side body. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Inhale brings you up. Exhale as we go the other direction. Left hand comes up over top of the head. And then sitting up nice and tall. Again, if you need to kickstand with your right hand, you can. We're going to take the left hand to this left foot. We'll lift it up. I don't know if you can see my little foot is lifting up. I had to lean over to the right just a bit to do that. Lifting that foot up, internally rotating the hip here about 3 times. Really getting that femur in the socket to move. Bringing the hands back behind you again, windshield wipering those legs. Feels so good not to be in the chicken leg anymore. And then joining me in an easy seated position. One last time, stacking rib cage over pelvis. Let's go ahead and close down the eyes. Telling ourselves what a good job we did for showing up this morning for ourselves. helping our body move in the ways that it needs to move so that we can have good pelvic health. Making sure the shoulders are down and back, trying to get those shoulder blades down into your back pocket, sitting up nice and tall. Let's inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And we'll take our left hand, we'll put it on our heart, right hand on the belly, continuing to have those eyes shut. Just giving ourselves a special little thank you today on the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. And I say to everybody, namaste. Thank you so much for coming. May your coffee and your pelvic floor be strong today.